Gutterworks, always well hung, just like Justin Barcia. Make sure to check them out. And not only was Barcia hung, but he was heated last night. And we'll get into all that here coming up. So, all right, 450 race recap here. Tomac is just a Daytona god. That's all there is to it. That guy is fucking incredible. All day looked like dog shit, including the heat race. And then, boom, lights come on, main event time, domination. Thoughts?
Man, I guess I don't really know where to start. I was watching practice, qualifying, whatever you want to call it, and he's putting a lap in, and you could tell he was pushing, he was trying, and he comes up, I think, like 8th on the board or something in that first one.
Yep.
And he just looks up at the board after the finish line and shakes his head, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Obviously, he thought that should have been a better lap than what it was. So, I don't know. I think that's not only Eli Tomac showing up when it counted. I think that's you can give a lot of credit to Star Yamaha and those guys for figuring out maybe what was wrong with that bike. Maybe the setup wasn't where he needed it, but either way, he put it together for the main.
He did say in the press conference, sorry to interrupt you, that he only made one adjustment between free practice and qualifying one.
Ooh.
And they went like a couple clickers on the forks or something was all they did. So he didn't make a bunch of changes. It must have all been up here. So,
well, I don't know, man. 7 wins at Daytona is pretty damn impressive.
That's fucking wild.
And that whole race, I would have wanted to be right where Eli Tomac was anyway. Sitting there, just watching, letting the race play out, let it happen, and I don't know. He did it, man. There's nothing you can say. But
does he beat Webb if Webb doesn't go into neutral or false neutral or whatever?
You know, that I don't know.
Flip a coin?
I say flip a coin because Koopa was matching him.
Mm-hmm.
And Koopa is really good about picking up on the line, so passing him would have been another thing. Yeah. So he waited for the mistake to happen, he took advantage of it and was gone.
He almost had a big one though. Did you see him that one time on that 3-on-off quad there on that rhythm after the finish?
He almost did a Kev?
He almost did a Kev. There was something weird in that rut because Thrasher did it, Kev did it, and he you could see him on the bike. He was literally like this, pulling it back into the track. And I thought, oh boy, here we go. Yeah. Tough block Indonesia again. He pulled it off, but it was almost a big one. I don't know that he beats Webb. Webb wants a Daytona win. I don't know if you picked up on that with his podium interview there. He's not stoked that he has not pulled one of these off yet.
Yeah, I think it would have been a dogfight, and we've seen Eli get flustered trying to get around guys, so that would have been really interesting to see how it played out. But like I said, he was in the spot that you want to be in, and if there was a mistake, he capitalized and he won the race.
Look,
what do you say? 7 wins at Daytona.
Yeah,
so.
We had so much potential going into this race. There was the potential, if they finished in the correct order, to have 3 red plates for the first time ever at Indy. Yeah. I think if Chase wins and
Coop got second
and Eli got third, we would have had a 3-way tie at Indy. 3 red plates. Would have been incredible to see.
It definitely would have been incredible. My Rocky Mountain fantasy would have been incredible because that's the way I had them laid out. So,
man. So, yeah, and getting to second place there, Coop, I mean, he was just Coop is back. He's there.
Big Dick is back in town.
Big Dick Energy's back.
Yeah, Big Dick is back in town. How about
lay down? Dog, go lay down.
Get out of here, shop dog.
Yeah, go lay down. Put your bed out there. Go lay down. Go.
You got any thoughts on Cooper Webb?
Yeah, you got any thoughts on Cooper Webb? You got big dick like you.
Okay. I'll give you a little pet too. Shop talk with the dogs. But Cooper Webb, man, Big Dick is back in town, and that podium interview, I was trying my balls off.
Yeah.
And then follows that up with a damn. Right on the podium. So it's hilarious. And but there was still, in that podium interview, I think there was still a sense of swagger, I guess you could say. Maybe a little bit of a, all right, I got this guy. I matched him.
So he was blitzing whoops longer than anybody else last night, which is interesting.
And let's get this. I was watching the main. I'm halfway through it, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Eli is jumping and Coop is skimming. What the fuck happened? So, but I don't know. What can you say? Cooper Webb is he's back.
Yeah.
It's so weird how shitty he was last year to where he is this year. Like how you can just flip the
I
switch
would
like that.
love to know the behind the scenes of what the fuck they changed on that bike that has made it this much more competitive now.
I don't really know. I would love to know too, but I also think it's very interesting that he, rode everything. Rode a 350, rode some of that stuff, and was like,
Yeah.
hey, put some of the characteristics of this 350 into the motor and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's super interesting to me, and it's working.
It is. And did you hear the stat this week that those three have the most points of the top three, like ever after 8 rounds or whatever?
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're in a really good spot here, and we're still in a good spot. Like Sexton's 10 out now, 10 points out, but dude.
And here's another thing that kind of blew my mind. I was looking at the standings at the end, and it shows the race wins. Eli's got 5. And he's only 5 points up. And Coop's only got 2.
Yeah.
So Eli has had a couple of those weirdo not feeling it rounds.
So we just
Coop
pointed this out.
Have one of those.
We just pointed this out this week in something I was listening to. We have not seen, call it a super dominant Eli Tomac. Maybe it wasn't Leach. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe it was Kellen Brower. I don't know. Anyway, somebody pointed out in something I was listening.
Racer X.
Somebody from Racer X and something I was listening to this week pointed out we have not seen Eli dominate since round 2. He dominated A1. He dominated San Diego. And since then, he's been okay. He's been good. But he has not really been head and shoulders above everybody else, a la Sexton and Webb since then. So that's super interesting. Like, he's still cracking these off, but he's just not the guy for it. Yeah. Which, if you think about it, too, wasn't the third round...
There's a Triple Crown on it.
Yeah, wasn't it A2 where he had that big one?
It, yeah.
Yeah. So since then, he essentially has not had everybody's number like he did the first couple.
A dominant round.
Which maybe that just made him take a step back and go, whoa, like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I mean...
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's out by any means here because, like, he, as we kind of have heard some things behind the scenes, he's pretty much got an open-ended book of, like, whatever you want to ride, you can just keep riding. Like, you want to ride outdoors, you want to do the SMX, you want to fucking come back next year and ride Supercross again, sure, no problem. So who knows how much longer we're going to see him, but he's pretty much, he can ride a Yamaha as long as he wants to.
Yeah, and back to Coop. One more thing with Coop before we get into Chase, but I think it's going to be real interesting to see what Coop does on the mind game side of it.
Yes.
And I think it's kind of already started a little bit.
I don't think he has to play mind games with Sexton. Sexton's playing mind games with himself.
With himself, yes. Now, Tomac might be a tougher egg to crack, but I think some of the little, like, lighthearted jabs have already started, because I heard something where, they were sitting in the tunnel, and it's Tomac, Coop, and then A-Ray walks up, and Coop just looks at A-Ray and goes, "Damn, A-Ray, you must be feeling it tonight," just busting his balls and shit. And A-Ray's like, "Yeah, I don't know, man." And Coop just goes, "Yeah, man, must be all those laps you're doing with Eli during the week or something." And then Eli he just started laughing, I guess. But I don't know, little jabs and stuff like that might add up over time.
Yeah,
I don't know. So
we'll have to see. my big thing is what the hell happens if he wins this title on KTM? And staying there or going to Star like we all think he's going
very
to.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to make... I'm going to try to do a whole silly season kind of breakdown show here because I think that's the more interesting thing here as we move forward. Like, the season's good here, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to try to do maybe on like a film one before the off weekend and put it out on the off weekend of like a whole silly season breakdown of where we think people are going and what we think's happening with that kind of stuff. So we'll see.
Be fun. Pure speculation.
Pure speculation at this point. All right, moving on. Third place was Sexton, and all you can say is mistakes, and I think the Honey Badger's pissed at him, and that's not good. Like, the Honey Badger's real pissed. And I'll tell you what, did you listen to the press conference?
I did not.
So was it Darkside? Might have been Darkside. Ask him. Dark. Ask him. Shout out Jamie. Ask him about that whole little thing with Barcia there, kind of cutting over. And Chase's response was, Well, I had a wheel in front, so I felt like I had the line. I'll have to go back and watch it, but I felt like it was my line to have if I wanted it.
The first one or the second one?
The first one, when he crossed over on him there, going down that rhythm
I kind
section.
of agree with that though.
Yeah, it was.
Bike was in front.
I'm not sure Barcia's gonna see it that way. Chase made a mistake and was slow. Like if he'd have been going normal speed, no problem. But because he made that mistake and he was doubling through there and Barcia was going 3.3, that wasn't the issue. So I don't know. Let's put it this way. It doesn't bode well if Barcia can't put that out of his mind and just go, okay, cool, we're fine, we're friends, whatever. Because you don't want that honey badger looking for you.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is that Chase owes him one anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
But we did see a little bit of that in the first lap, so I don't know if you noticed. It was Eli got the whole shot, came out front, coupe, and it was Barcia, and Sexton ran it in right in the first corner, blocked past him, and got away.
Yeah.
So, and it was clean. It was a clean block pass, but nothing is really clean in Barcia's eyes. So, that was. Both of those guys are very lucky that wasn't worse.
Yeah.
Barcia, on his side, he saw the gap. He's like, "This is my chance. I'm pinning it."
Mm-hmm.
Chase protecting the line. You can't blame him as well. I think it's a racing thing.
Yeah.
Now, the second one, dude. First off, Chase shouldn't even be in that situation. Why are you stalling the bike? You're a second a lap faster than everybody in practice. Where was that in the main? You didn't show up, bro.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. He was a 10th off. Barcia had the fastest lap with a 1:14.07.
The main?
Yeah.
Wow.
Tomac was second with a 1:14.08, and then Sexton went a 1:14.13.
I don't know, man. Chase. I don't know what it is.
It's in his head at this point.
I think so too, but lots of little mistakes in that main.
Mm-hmm.
Really couldn't figure out jumping the whoops for a while.
He said that in the press conference too. The first few laps he did it, he's like, "Oh man, this is bad." Because he said he went outside, but he's like, when you went outside to skim, he's like, it was just leaving the door open. And he goes, especially with Barcia around me, I was like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Yeah. So I give him credit that he adjusted for that, but yeah, he didn't have it the first few laps. So it's, I don't know, man.
It's weird, dude.
If he figures this out, he'll win this title.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, they're that's not good.
And he claims he started finding his flow a little bit, but even the couple laps before that, there were where the second crash happened, where Barcia went down, where he was going inside and then roll double. Even that, he went over to roll the first single, made a mistake, and then couldn't double out. So there's probably half a second there.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that.
Which is weird, too, because it's Daytona, and they all ride in Florida, so they're all used to that kind of sandier dirt clay down there. So it's this should have been, and they said they tested a lot, and they found a lot of settings, and everybody talks about now with Daytona, your settings don't really have to change. They always go in and change stuff, and then end up literally right back where they were. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. Like I said, we'll see if the testing really worked come next week in Indy. If it did, and he comes out in Indy and dominates, cool. But man, I gotta see it to believe it at this point with him. He's so fast, but he just cannot hold it together.
Yeah, and he's clearly been the fastest guy when they get back into the indoor stuff. So we'll see. Maybe this was just one of those weirdo things.
Maybe.
But man, he's got to figure it out here soon because speed-wise, he's got these guys back against the wall. But as far as racecraft and really putting it together for the main, what champions do, doesn't have it yet.
Nope. And it's crazy how much we talk about him, how fast he is, and he's won 2 Supercross races.
So crazy.
Leads all these laps and everything, and he's won 2 races.
Yeah, crazy. Weirdo night for him last night.
Yeah. And speaking of weirdos, Justin Barcia in his contract years is just a fucking freak of nature. How do you do this?
So I was watching that guy in practice, and they had the camera on him for a lap. Surprise, Race Day Live actually got a fast lap out of somebody. But they had the camera on him, and I'm watching. I'm like, holy shit, he's hauling. But I'm like, holy fuck, he must be in good shape. How is he able to ride like a crackhead like that?
I brought this up before. He's fucking all over the place. Bro, I will save you 1/10 of a second a lap. and you won't be as tired at the end if you just chill out a little bit.
Yeah, he must be in incredible shape or something. Obviously, he's not doing steroids because that PP did not get smaller. But he rode well. Like, he was catching that lead group.
Yeah.
And it would have been real interesting to see. And whenever that dude's around, shit gets interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope we keep seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, even though he rides like a douchebag and does some really stupid stuff, like, we need him in the mix.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does when they get back indoors and see if this ride gave him a little bit of confidence, because I think it may have.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Jason Anderson, 5th place. He was kind of irrelevant most of the day from what I saw.
You know, I'm telling you, I think it's the film guy Tom theory.
I think, let's put on my TLR tinfoil hat here. Like I
Oh.
said, Kawasaki broke him already. Like, like usually it takes these guys 3-4 years to really like break these dudes and like make them just robots and like, I don't want to ride anymore. Took a year. Took 1 year.
Well, dude, that's what I'm saying is go back, and everybody
Yeah.
out there listening, go watch Team Fried Atlanta 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom's there vlogging. He wins that night.
Yep.
But everybody in the truck, hanging out, laughing, the truck driver, all the hard-ass dudes at Cowie that never smile. Like the Dan Fahey dude, he seems like, never met the guy, but he seems like an asshole whenever they interview him. Canceled already, but... I mean, he seems he just seems real suit and tie, like...
Yeah, serious.
In those videos, like, all those guys are cracking smiles, joking around.
Yeah.
Tom ain't around. Tom ain't... He's too busy filming with Racer X and Bell and all these other companies that are paying him.
Yep.
Team Fried, he's not getting paid for.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think Jason's a guy that's got to have people around him. And when he loses that group of people... It just loses that little bit of an edge that you need to be at that level.
Yeah, pretty much. So I don't... Dude, he's really testing me as to whether I think he's going to actually win a race this year.
Yeah.
And the silly season show with him is going to be full of what I think is going to happen, because there's a lot to unpack with him here.
Where we're racing.
Yeah.
That's where.
Justin Cooper's last 450 race here,
Yep.
6th place. That's pretty fucking good for him.
I think that's pretty phenomenal. I saw a post-race interview. He didn't seem really too stoked. I think he felt like he had the speed to be in the top 5, and he made a couple of mistakes. But either way, man, I think he solidified himself that he
was only half a second off Ando.
He can.
So he was right there at the finish, must be.
Well, how did he put it? He said, I got to Anderson, and he was pretty good at figuring out how not to let me by. That's how he put it.
I got to say, though, I think him cutting off the 450 here and going to focus on outdoors, huge mistake.
He wants that title, though.
I don't think it's going to do anything for his stock, though. Because I don't think he's going to win that title, to be honest with you.
Who do you think's going to win it?
We'll get to that.
Either way, good showing on the 450.
Great
for
showing.
Mr. Justin Cooper. And there was also a G-Wagon in the pits. Who do you think was driving it?
Oh, yeah. Bet money.
Who do you think was driving it?
Probably him and his chick.
His chick.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So Kickstart Kenny 7th, and he looked good again during the heats and qualifying.
Here's my thing with Kenny.
Oh,
Here's
boy.
what I think.
Here we go.
Well, it's not really. A lot of people will probably agree with me and shake their head, yeah. But he comes out guns blazing in the heat races. He was pacing Tomac again in the heat race, and I think this whole me thing, Ricky Bobby, me, training himself isn't working. I don't think. I think he's using up all his gas in the heat races and can't bring that intensity to the main.
Here's a different theory. I think they've got that bike figured out when the track is really good. When the track breaks down, it's not really good. Look at last week. Where was he really good? That first main.
Okay, write this down. I got my holster coat rant here. Just
Here, you can just write it yourself here.
okay.
So, and save it
my
for
holster
save it
coat
for the
rant here. Is
Just
this
save
your
it.
rant right here?
Just save it. No.
Well,
Just
here's
save
my
it. Just
rant
save
about the testing the bikes.
Oh,
thing,
boy, here we go.
We'll get to that. But all I'm gonna say is, fucking quit grooming the fucking tracks every day. So we'll get there.
Okay. All right, moving on. So RJ Hampshire makes his 450 race debut here, wins his heat race, which is just incredible, and then gets 8th place in the main.
Fucking stacked heat race too.
It was.
Dude, what do you think? You're an RJ guy. Hey,
That
anybody that wants an RJ Hampshire jersey, it just went up in value. I have one. So
Jesus. That was impressive. Now, so what I understand is he's got the option to do 3 450 races this
going to
year.
Indy. Already confirmed.
Is it?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in Indy.
Yes.
We all know Daytona's kind of a different track.
Florida boy.
Florida boy, too. First one, everybody's all piped up on piss and vinegar there. So, like, okay, sweet. Let's see. Let's see when we get into the tight stadiums there. Now, the thing I will agree with, like they were kind of talking about last night, is did the 450 like smooth him out a little bit because he's got more respect for it, so he's not just wide open everywhere like he is on the 250? I don't know. We'll see. But that was an impressive ride from him. A whole impressive day. I mean, he was on the board for qualifying, wins the heat in the main. He's in the top 10. You can't really ask for more.
No. Better than Christian Craig.
Yeah.
That's got to eat at Mr. Christian Craig.
Poor Craig.
Yeah. But RJ, man, no, great showing on the 450 first go. I was not expecting that to go that well. I figured there'd be at least one tucked front wheel, but I think I'm on board with the maybe it smoothed him out kind of thing. Mm-hmm. He didn't, when the camera was on him, which it was on him quite a bit, I didn't really see any wild moment. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe it's just...
There was a couple times in the whoops when the camera was on him. They got a little bucky. But
just like all these guys say, they're all 450 guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. AP had a much quieter night than anticipated. 9th place. There was not a lot of spark there that I saw.
No.
And I don't know what the deal was.
It starts.
Okay.
Whenever he gets a start, he's up front with the boys. And he knows it too. AP knows his starts are fucked up. Mm-hmm. So, and he explained it. I think he's on Steve's show, and to that he's struggles with coming out of the gate and dropping one elbow or dropping an elbow, and it gets him off balance.
Interesting.
So if you do go back and watch, like you can see he usually goes right or left right out of the gate. So
that makes sense.
Now I think if he gets starts, he can run with those guys. It's just
getting the starts.
Getting the start, which is super dependent these days. So
yep.
Also starts. Side note.
Yes.
Great for outdoors, and I'm not impressed.
Yes, I heard that.
I think
I'm not either.
So
I like the idea of no grates, no start devices. I mean, here's the thing: is if you listen to Steve's show, he wants to go all the way to like no start mapping everything. That genie's out of the bottle. There's no way you're going to be able to regulate that. Start mapping's there. I'm totally fine with going back to no start devices, though.
Oh, we're going to see a lot of loop outs.
Don't care. Do not care. It'll make things more interesting.
I think it could, but I think dirt starts. Go back to those.
Dirt starts are a big plus too.
Go back to the art of packing a gate.
Yep. All right. So Christian Craig 10th. Oh boy.
What are we doing with it?
Well, we're in the top 10, so we're
okay.
I'm not pressing it yet. But
well, Colt Nichols wasn't there. Ferrandis wasn't there. AC's not there.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are falling out, and he just finds his way into the top 10. So
it's I don't know. This isn't a great look. Like I said, I gotta get to outdoors with him. I gotta see where we go outdoors, because again, we have an outdoor bar that's been set. If we don't reach that bar, we know it's the bike.
I think
because it ain't him. That's good. Keep it going.
I think he really is struggling with the bike, though.
I think so too.
And being the respectful guy that he is, he just won't come out and say it. But he's kind of dipping one toe in on the bike thing.
Yeah.
And it's showing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I bet you put him out there on that Star 250F, and he's getting 7th at least.
Probably.
So
he's probably up there with Justin Cooper.
Yeah. So I don't know. Real head scratcher there.
That is. All right. Dean Wilson, 11th. Typical Dean. Can't get in the top 10. Poor guy.
Poor fucking guy. He wants that top 10 so bad.
Probably has top 10 bonus.
Well, that, and I don't know. Pick him in fantasy every time you can, because he ain't going past 13th.
Yeah. Justin Hill, 12th. Shane Sins.
You still shitting on Hill?
It's great, dude. He's doing fine.
Yeah.
Shane Sins, 13th. Grant Harlan, 14th. Yep.
Fucking, I wish I'd left him on my team.
Oh, man. I don't want to talk about it.
I had him on my team.
Josh Hill, 15th. Benny, 16th. Another quiet night. Didn't seem to hit the deck, I guess.
He did, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because I drank the Kool-Aid.
Oh, did you?
He was on my
That's
team.
what you get.
So, I drank the Bloss Kool-Aid, and he was in 14th. And it's good to know that he dropped back to 16th. So I think I saw a Harlan interview. And by the way, have you seen this picture of Benny and Harlan going around?
No.
So they're standing in the pits. And if you don't know, Harlan shaved his head.
Oh, God.
And Benny Bloss shaved his head.
I knew Benny did.
I shit you not, it looks like Dr. Evil and Mini-Me standing together.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I'll have to show it to you. Maybe I'll clip that and put it in there. But, Harlan said something that Benny tucked the front wheel or something on the last lap and got him. So,
all right. So Josh Cartwright 17th, Starling 18th, John Short 19th, Cade 20th, Chase Marquier 21st,
lots
and
of Kawasaki contingency money in the back of the field.
Logan Carnell 22nd. That's because Cowie pays the most contingency.
Oh, I know.
So
over under on Carnell going to Razzles after the race.
Oh, 100%.
You think he pulls the Instagram out?
100%.
It's like, hey, I raced tonight.
Not only that, he's like, look at that sponsor on that bike. You know who that is? That it's the OnlyFans. Not just a chick with big tits. The OnlyFans.
Subscribe.
He's pulling it all
he's
out.
probably doing, you want to do a subscribe for subscribe? Subscribe to me, I'll subscribe to you. Maybe that's what's going on.
Maybe. Who knows? So,
I mean, you got to leverage those deals, you know.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
What do you think his deal is? You think it was about the same number as Kessler's? Or you think he got a little more?
He might get a little more. 450 guy, main event dude. He made a lot of mains last year. I mean, he's number 74 or something, right?
We think we're what, 30, 35?
Maybe. I don't know.
What did David Pulley get? You think?
Yeah. There
What
we
did
go.
he get?
There we go. So
$500?
Anything else 450s here before we wrap the 450 section?
No, we moved through that pretty quick and efficient. Got our points in. No arguing.
Oh.
What do you got? The text?
Dylan didn't race, huh?
Dylan was out. Yeah.
I thought he was in qualifying, wasn't he?
He did the first practice and was just like, yeah, I'm out. Okay,
outdoor,
let's talk
outdoor.
about,
yeah, before we wrap this up here, outdoor only for that guy.
Park him.
Dude, you have to.
Park him.
Did you see Cooksy's Instagram post about it?
It's like, something about this is why you don't ride when you're concussed.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's something to that.
And everybody's like, you're not a fucking doctor. Okay, we're not a fucking doctor. Sorry, we don't know anything. Nobody knows anything.
I think there's something to that,
I think there is too. Now, don't get me wrong.
Look how fucked up Stu was.
That section, seeing how hard those guys had to seat bounce that, I see why I went to Indonesia there. Because he fucking probably sat into that thing wrong.
Yeah, but the thing is he was still about 4 feet short.
Yeah, it's true too. It was a weird deal. That was bad though. That was really bad. See him almost fucking rip his head off there. Like that was gnarly.
He almost ripped his hand off on the peg.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, he needs to be parked until
park him until outdoors.
Here's the thing. That his wife, like, I don't know him. I don't know his wife. His wife needs to look at him and be like, "Why the fuck are you doing this?" Like, find someone who will let you race outdoors only. We all know you can crush it at outdoors, and just go do outdoors. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And you can do the SMX stuff.
Yeah, or go back and just do fucking GPs again. Like, I don't know. Like, your chance of a 450 title is out the window, bro. You cannot go through a whole year in 450s. Like, you won a 250 Supercross title, great. You proved you can ride Supercross decently, but 450 Supercross is not your cup of tea.
It's a different animal.
Yep. So you got, like, before something really bad happens, just stop, man.
Yeah, and it's pretty unfortunate because maybe this year was maybe his peak because he was rattling off fourth, fifth, and riding really well, but it always goes sideways.
So sideways.
And dude, can you imagine outdoors with him fully healthy
and
all these guys? It'd be amazing. So, what do you have to gain at this point? Top 10 in points? I don't think that's happening. Top 5 in points? That's not happening. Park it. Get ready for outdoors and come out fucking
go to Star and tell them you want an outdoor only deal. Look at what they're doing right now. They've got, what is that, Guillaume Ferez or whatever? He's going to ride outdoors only again for him?
He's going to be in Supercross next year, though.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
But
still, those guys are flexible enough.
There is no way those guys tell him, yeah, no way. I mean, look at what they're doing with Justin Cooper, too. Comes out, rides 3-4 Supercross races, and boom. Because, like, this is just getting ridiculous. Like, you have a huge one wherever the fuck we were, Houston. and almost die. And now you come out here, almost rip your head off again. Like, dude, just stop, man.
Yeah,
Before something really does happen.
Here's what I think might be interesting. We're jumping the gun on some silly season talk.
Yeah.
But I think it would be cool to see. I think Marv hangs it up.
Mm-hmm.
Got the child. And I think they want to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
Family's home, etc. But you never know with Marv. He might do a last year job. But say Marv does retire. Done. Put another French guy in at KTM. But instead of doing Supercross only, like you did with Marv, do outdoor only with Dylan. Use that same budget. Just move it to outdoor only.
Yep.
Have the SMX option. Go from there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. I think that would be perfect for him.
Here's a great thing. Everybody keeps asking these guys about the SMX tracks. Oh, you doing testing? Oh, this, oh, that. Nobody fucking knows what the tracks are going to be. Literally in the press conference, they're asking these guys last night, and they're like, well, we don't really know what's going to happen. And even, what's his name? Who's the Race Day Live guy?
Dan Hubbard?
Dan Hubbard, because he was doing the press conference. He's like, yeah, we don't really know. The fuck? What? We just don't know.
Also,
we don't know.
More broadcast stuff.
Oh, boy.
They did Justin Brayton really dirty.
What do you mean?
So did you see where they had him as the Grand Marshal?
Oh, yeah.
And they put the camera on him earlier, and he's like, what the fuck's going on? Am I live or whatever?
Yeah.
And then he's like, gentlemen! And then bikes fire up.
Yeah.
Start your engines!
Grand Marshal, and then, yeah, the bikes are running.
The bikes are already running.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, that doesn't work in this sport, guys. I appreciate the effort, though.
It works, but you just got to let everybody know. They probably didn't tell the guys, hey, don't start it till he says start your
probably
engines.
lack of communication.
Yeah,
for
100%.
Sure. Probably an AMA wedge in
They
there
can't
somewhere.
even communicate to the guys, and this is an AMA thing. This is not a Feld or whatever thing, but they can't even communicate to the guys between practices, hey, we took these jumps out. They just let them go and assume it's all the same so that they can hurt themselves.
Oh, they've done that before, yeah.
So
the whoops at Daytona a few years ago.
yeah. So, all right, that has been your 450 race recap there, brought to you by our friends at Gutter Works. All well hung, just like Justin Barcia.